Welcome to Interesting People. Today, we're diving into the life of a hip-hop legend who not only changed the game but left an indelible mark on Generation X, Bizzy Bone of Bone Thugs-n-Harmony. Picture this, it's the early 90s, and the airwaves are dominated by the gritty sounds of West Coast gangsta rap. But in Cleveland, Ohio, a new sound is brewing, one that would forever change the landscape of hip-hop. Enter Bone Thugs-n-Harmony, and at the heart of their unique style, Bizzy Bone. Now, let me tell you, as a young Gen Xer coming of age in this era, the impact of Bone Thugs was nothing short of revolutionary. Their rapid-fire delivery, melodic flows, and streetwise lyrics hit us like a ton of bricks. And Bizzy. Man, Bizzy Bone stood out like a beacon in the night. Born Brian Anthony McCain II on September 12, 1976, Bizzy's story is one of triumph over unimaginable adversity. At just 4 years old, Bizzy and his two sisters were abducted by their stepfather, Eddie Bowman. For 2 hellish years, these kids were subjected to abuse and constantly moved around to avoid the authorities. It's the kind of story that makes your heart ache, you know. But here's where it gets wild. In 1983, Bizzy's case was featured on America's Most Wanted. Can you imagine? This future hip-hop star, this kid who would one day be spitting rhymes that would change our lives, was on national TV as a missing child. It was a neighbor who recognized him from the broadcast and alerted the authorities, leading to his rescue. Talk about a plot twist, right? Now, fast forward to the early 90s. I'm just getting out of high school, class of '93, when Bone Thugs burst onto the scene. Let me tell you, it was like nothing we'd ever heard before. And at the center of it all was Bizzy Bone, his high-pitched, rapid-fire flow cutting through the beats like a hot knife through butter. You gotta understand, for us Gen Xers, this was more than just music. It was a cultural shift. We were the latchkey kids, the slackers, the generation everyone loved to rag on. But when Bone Thugs came out with tracks like Thuggish Ruggish Bone, and later, First of the Month, it was like they were speaking directly to us. And Bizzy's verses. Man, they hit different. See, Bizzy wasn't just another rapper. His lyrics were raw, emotional, often touching on his troubled past and his spiritual beliefs. For a generation often accused of being apathetic, hearing Bizzy pour his heart out in every verse was like a wake-up call. It showed us that it was okay to be vulnerable, to confront our demons head-on. And let's not forget the Eazy-E connection. As a fan of NWA, seeing Eazy take Bone Thugs under his wing was like worlds colliding. I remember when the "We Want Eazy" video dropped, it was like a passing of the torch. Bone Thugs, with Bizzy front and center, were carrying that torch into a new era of hip-hop. But Bizzy's story isn't all smooth sailing. His struggles with substance abuse and mental health issues are well documented. There were missed performances, tension within the group, and periods where he stepped away from Bone Thugs altogether. But you know what? That's part of what made him real to us. In Bizzy, we saw our own struggles reflected back at us. As the years went on, Bizzy's solo career took off. Albums like Heaven's Movie allowed him to dive deeper into his personal experiences. For me, and I'm sure for many of you out there, listening to Bizzy's solo work was like having a conversation with an old friend who'd been through it all. Now, here's the thing about Bizzy Bone and Bone Thugs-n-Harmony, their influence goes way beyond just their music. They changed the way we thought about rap. They showed us that hip-hop could be melodic, that it could touch on spirituality and personal pain. For a generation often dismissed as cynical, this was powerful stuff. And let's talk about that flow. Bizzy's rapid-fire, melodic style influenced countless artists who came after him. You can hear echoes of his flow in so many of today's rappers. It's like he rewrote the rules of what was possible in hip-hop. These days, Bizzy is still out there, still creating, still evolving. He's a father now, and he's spoken openly about how his kids have given him a new perspective on life. He's used his platform to raise awareness about child abuse and mental health, issues that resonate deeply with many of us who grew up in that era. You know, looking back, it's clear that Bizzy Bone isn't just an interesting person, he's a survivor, an innovator, a true hip-hop legend. From that little boy on America's Most Wanted, to the hip-hop star who changed the game, his journey is a testament to the power of resilience and creativity. In the end, Bizzy Bone's story is our story, a tale of overcoming adversity, of finding your voice, of changing the game. It's the story of a generation that refused to be defined by others' expectations. And that, my friends, is why Bizzy Bone will always be one of the most interesting people in hip-hop. Now, if you're feeling inspired by Bizzy's journey and want to keep that vibe going, I've got something special for you. Check out my latest album, Highway Haze Beats for the Blazed, available now on United Masters. It's a collection of tracks created by me, the great Quaver TV, to listen to while you're cruising around with a blunt in your system. Trust me, it's the perfect soundtrack for those late-night cruises or chill sessions with your crew. This is Quaver TV, signing off. Remember, keep it real, keep it interesting, and always, always appreciate the artistry that shapes our world. And don't forget to grab Highway Haze Beats for the Blazed. Let's keep that Bone Thugs legacy alive and kicking.